Hello guys and welcome to another episode of the Advanced Design Training Series. In the previous lesson, we discussed how to organize our color palette, and in this video I have prepared a Figma tutorial in order to show you how to structure your color palette. And as a bonus at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some very useful and cool features to use in Figma and keep your consistency among your mockups and use your brand new color palette. So let's get started. Before we start, I want you to ask you guys to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so as not to miss amazing content designed for designers. And by the way, let me know your thoughts about the motivational design series we published the last week. So let's get started. So this is the final result, and as you can see I have my color palette ready, but let's get started and let's build it all over again. So I have deleted all the created color styles, and I'm going to guide you step by step in order to create that color palette. And then we are going over here with a kit I took ready from the Figma from another creator, and we are going to show you some very cool tips you can use when you have a color palette ready. So let's start with the logo. We saw that on our previous lesson again. So I have that logo and I can clearly see that there are two main blues here, a darker one and a lighter one. So because the darker is used for the plane and the wording itself, I'm going to use the darker blue as my primary color, and I'm going to use my lighter blue as my secondary color. Now, if you're not sure about what is a primary color and what is a secondary color, I suggest you guys to go back and see the previous lesson where we discussed all the groups of a color palette in detail. So, in order to extract these colors, I'm going to use my color picker and I'm going to take the hex code. Of course, your partner maybe has already a published color palette, so you don't need to do that at all. So I follow the same procedure for here. And now if you remember from the last lesson, the next step is to generate some shades. And why is that? Because we need a light primary color and a dark primary color. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a Figma plugin, but there are many web tools as well, and they are free. So feel free to choose whatever you like. So this is my plugin. First of all, I'm going to take the hex code and then I'm going to run the plugin. And by inserting here the hex code, I'm generating that shade. So the next step is to choose which is going to be the dark color and which is going to be the primary shade of the light shade of my primary color. So again here, feel free to choose anything you like, anything that fits best your product. There is no do and don't here, but a pro tip here is to keep that generated shade somewhere in your design system, and if you ever need another blue, you should consider using any of these, not just a random blue. So I have chosen my blues here, my light, my base, and the dark. The base is that blue. And the next step is to generate the style. So I'm going to hit that icon over here, and then I'm going to hit the plus icon, and on the name, I will name it primary slash light. And I will follow the same procedure for the next as well. Now, following the same steps, we can generate the secondary shades and then choose the light and the dark shade and come over here and we can generate our styles in the same exact way. Okay, now next I'm going to describe you briefly these groups and then I'm going to fast forward the video while I'm making the same process again and again. So we have our complementary colors. The complementary colors are colors that provide some sort of feedback to the user, such as success, warning, information, and danger colors. And they usually have global colors like green, orange, blue, and red. So I'm going to choose whatever of those colors I want. I don't need to use a generator here. And then I'm going to follow the same procedure when in order to create my color styles. Now, for the grayscale is a good tip to create generated styles like we did with primary colors. And then I usually use from 3 to 5 shades of gray. The tip here is that I name with 0 the darker gray and with 4 the lighter, so as to know if I need to use a darker or lighter gray. But you can use any naming such as dark gray, light gray, bright gray, whatever fits you best. Then we have our surface colors, which is the background and the main surface. The background is used for our apps or projects background and is placed behind the elements. And the main surface is the color of the body of the elements we use, like the color of the body of a dialog box, and it's usually white. Last but not least, we have our own colors. Now I know what the heck own colors mean. Just go on the previous lesson and see all the details about the own colors. Briefly, on colors are used for typography and strokes, and they characterize the color of an element which is placed above another element. So the on primary is the color that has the text when it's placed above a primary color element, and it's usually white. Then we have our second category under the on colors, which is the on surface. And the on surface colors are divided into subcategories, the high emphasis and the low emphasis, simply because sometimes we want a lower emphasis text. So I'm going to create all the styles using the previous steps I demonstrated. So you can follow with me or you can fast forward the video and see the cool feature that is coming next. Okay, so as you can see, I have finished creating my color palette and now all my colors are grouped under the relevant title over here. And I can easily, let's say, create a rectangular and give the color I want. But what happens with the designs we already have? So now let's say that this is a mockup and I want to change all these colors. Instead of going into each element and change the color one by one, we can simply go here and under the selection colors, if I use to see them all, then I can see what colors are used here. So if I change the yellow to, let's say, the warning, then all the yellows are automatically changed. And I can do the same for all the rest colors. So that color is not a color style, and this is why it doesn't change this automatically. So I need to click here, and then I can just select the color I want. Okay guys, we are finished and now you are ready to create your own color palette and implement it in your mockups. Until the next lesson, peace.